Good day, guys. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at web scraping using PowerQuery. Now, PowerQuery is a data connection and transformation tool built into Excel and Power BI. So we basically call it an ETL tool. Extract, transform, and load. It extracts data from different sources, transform it into however shape you want it, and you can load it into your Excel or Power BI dashboard for analysis. So let's quickly get started. Now, this is our Power BI interface. So we can actually scrape or import our data from the web from this particular tab here. When we come to get data, then under get data, we can go to web and it will open this particular window for us to input our URL. So in like manner, if I go to my Excel dashboard, as I can also come under the data tab. If I come under data tab, under this get and transform data group, I can come to get data and I will go to from other sources. Then I can choose from web. In similar manner, I can also come under this place, which is saying from web. So let me click on from web. Now, the data that we are going to be scraping is from Wikipedia. Now, we want to extract the data of 2024 Summer Olympics. So, we want to get some of those data. So, we want to see how we can be able to scrape those data, transform it, and load it for further analysis. So this is the data. So let's head back to our dashboard. So basically, I'm just going to copy this URL and paste it here. So by the time I paste it here, and I will click on OK. So it will begin to connect to that particular data source and it will begin to load the data for us. So as you can see on the navigator, it is still trying to load it. You know, what it's basically doing, it's trying to collect all of the possible data from that particular web page that are available. So as you can see, there are different display options here from my left pane. So I'm basically going under this 2024 Summer Olympics. This is my subject of focus. So if you look at it very carefully, we have our data in this case. So if you see the data, you see rank, NOC, then we have gold, silver, bronze, and total as the case may be. So we can do a lot of things. From the data, you can see a lot of null values. Now, if you look at the data very carefully, you find out that we have Botswana here, which is placed 55th. So we have Chile. They are also taking the same position as Botswana together with St. Lucia. If I go back to my data, if you look at it very carefully, you can see that the cells are actually matched. You know, wherever we have brackets, the cells are matched. So by the time we export it into Power Query, all of those cells will be showing null. So we're going to be seeing how we can deal with those particular types of data by going to the transform data. So load, we just take it directly into our BI or Excel interface, but we want to see how we can be able to transform the particular data before we load it into our dashboard. So by the time we click on transform, it will open our Power Query interface. So once it opens the Power Query interface, we can do a lot of things from this particular interface. So what we are going to do first now, we are going to do a little bit of cleaning from this particular dashboard. I'm just going to show us few things. So if you look at this is the Power Query editor. Now we have different ribbons. We have the file, home, transform. We have the add column. If you look at this very carefully, there are a lot of things that we can do. We can remove columns. We can keep columns. You can even remove rows as well. If you come under the transform tab, there are different options like the fill, like the move, like the extract and all of that. So every tool is very important depending on what you are trying to do. So very quickly, let me look at this. So now if you look at this, my United States, there is an icon that's in front of the United States. So I really don't want it to appear there. So what I can do is I'm just going to say right click on it. I will say replace values. So the moment I click on replace values, it will look for every instance of United States that have this sign in front of it. So I can just basically say replace with United States and click on OK. And as you can see, it will be gone in that particular place. So this is my rank, this is my NOC, this is the gold, silver, and bronze columns. So if you look at, we have lettering before the columns. Now, these are what we refer to as data types. If I click on this, I will see all of the different data types. Now, the rank is in ABC, it can actually also be in numbers, but we can also leave it in that particular manner. If I select whole number, it will it will take the form of what value data types. If you look at this place too, the data type here is what is actually text data type. So if you look at the code, these are data types that are actually numeric data types, as the case may be. Now I can scroll to the other side and just try to inspect some of the available data that I have in this particular place. So now very quickly, what we are going to be doing is that for, like we have said, like I showed us earlier, all of these values that are actually showing null, it is because they are sharing the same rank or place with the previous values. So for us to for us to get rid of that, we are going to come under transform and we'll come here and we'll see what we come under fill. So we can select fill down. So if I select fill down now, I need to make sure there's something that I need to make sure of. I need to make sure that I'm selecting on it before achieving that. So I can go back there or I can still come here, right click and say fill down. So the moment I click on fill down, you can see all of the columns that are showing null have taken the value from the cells that are just above it. So if there are other types of cleaning that we need to do, we can equally do that. Now I'm just doing something like this after Romania. So I don't want to see this after Romania. I want to just simply see Romania. So what I can basically do is just to right click on it, replace values and type Romania. So look at France. France is showing an asterisk. So if I want to remove those asterisk that I'm seeing in front of France or in any other place, I can just come here and help me. It's asking me for a value to find. So I will type asterisk. And what do I want to replace it with? I want to replace it with nothing. So if I click on OK, you can see that it is disappeared. So every instance of asterisk that we have will basically be gone. Okay, so let's quickly do one or two things before we load our data into our BI. So now the next thing that I would like to do, look at, we have gold, we have silver, we have bronze, and we have a total. Now let's say I want to get the percentage of people or of the states or countries rather that want gold. So I can come and select the gold column. Then I will hold my control and select the total. Okay, so basically what I want to do now, I want to add another column. So I will come here, I'll come under add column. Then under standard, if I select standard, now I want to divide it because I'm taking the percentage. I want to take the percentage now. So if I select divide, so you can see now it's opened another column for me. So if I want to rename it, I can double click on that column and just say good percentage, right? So it will actually rename it for me. So if I want to change this data type to percentage, I will equally right click on it and I will see come under change type, then select percentage. So you can see now it is giving me the values in percentage. Okay, so one last thing that I would want us to do here, if you scroll down, we are seeing what? We are seeing total entries. Now, let's say we don't want to see this, we don't want to remove the total entries. Probably it's going to distract us from how we want to analyze our data. So we can always add it later on. So you can only, if we can come under this place, and when we go scroll down, we'll see total entries there. Just uncheck total entries and click on OK. So by the time you click on OK, you find out that that total entries has disappeared. Okay, so basically we are done with our values. Now, note that anytime you are doing any query in Power Query, now if you come to the right side of it, you will see apply steps. Now, all of our steps, right? All of the queries that we are doing are being recorded on this place. So we can always refer back to whatever we are doing. So you can see all of the different things that we did, like change type, replace values, fill down. So it is recording all of our steps. So we can always repeat steps. Maybe we are trying to replace some values and want to do it over. You may just go under your apply steps and do those particular queries again. So just to let us know that it is there. So when we are done, we can come under file. So let's select close and load. So by the time we click on close and load, it will bring up our data. It will load it into our Excel interface or Power BI interface, depending on which particular one that we are working with. So as you can see, the data has been finally loaded into our interface. So this is my goal. This I actually put it in percentage in Power BI, but it did not take effect when it is loaded into this place. So it is something that I can just also achieve in this place. So I can go under my home tab and just select percentage. And if I want to add decimals, I will add decimals as the case may be. And whatever it is that I want to rename, I can also rename as well. So basically, this is just how we can perform simple web scraping using Power Query. There are a lot of things that you can achieve or do with Power Query. So you can go over it and just see how you also can be able to get the best of it. So thank you and see you some other time.